I'm David Twibell, an ATP and flight instructor. Today I'm talking about turning copilots into leaders. There's a moment in every copilot's career when the title second in command begins to take on real weight. It's not about seat position or hierarchy. It's about responsibility and the courage required to protect a flight. A friend of mine had that moment early in his career. He was new to his company and paired with a contract captain he had never flown with before. The captain insisted they had plenty of fuel. The numbers did not sit right with the SIC, but he deferred to authority. The captain had thousands more hours. He had only a handful. They made it to their destination, barely. The fuel gauges were frighteningly low. They later discovered that the captain had used incorrect logic taken from the aircraft type he flew most often. Rather than subtracting, he had added, a small difference that nearly cost them everything. That flight changed my friend. He realized that being the SIC is not about doing what you're told. It's about thinking, about checking, verifying, and speaking up when something is wrong. The cockpit is not a monarchy. It's a partnership built on vigilance and accountability. Some copilots never get a second chance to learn that lesson. The first chance they have to speak up becomes their last. But his story did not end there. A year later, he was flying with a different captain. They were preparing for a night departure into IMC in busy airspace. The captain forgot the departure briefing and called for the lineup checklist as he taxied into position. The SIC felt that same unease rising, but this time he spoke. He did not accuse or escalate. He simply said, "We need to taxi clear and brief this before we go." The captain was not happy. He believed he had the situation under control, and he may have, but the SIC was not on the same sheet of music. So they taxied clear of the runway, completed the briefing, and then departed. The flight was safe. What could have been a violation or something worse became only an uncomfortable moment, a small cost for certainty. That is what growth looks like in aviation. Not perfection, but conviction. The second time he fulfilled his duty, he protected the flight, even when it meant standing alone. If you're an SIC, remember this. You're not just there to assist the captain. You're there to protect the flight. You're the second link in a two-person safety chain. Your duty is sacred because it often feels uncomfortable. It requires courage, clarity, and a willingness to risk an awkward moment in order to keep everyone safe. And you may have to do this on your very first flight. That is part of the calling. You do not get to choose when the moment comes. You only get to choose whether you rise to it. So if your gut tells you something is wrong, say it. Respectfully, clearly, and firmly. You may not be thanked for it, but it may be the difference between making it home or not, and that makes it always worth it. If this resonated with you, take it with you into the cockpit. Speak up when it matters. And if you value thoughtful aviation leadership, consider subscribing.